We'll start with the presentation today about this upcoming course we have of IREM this semester. Shannon, the floor is yours.
Okay. Hi, everybody. This is great to see such a full room. I'm loving being here, and I didn't know that Mike and Phil were speaking after me, so now I'll be here. And Freddie. And Freddie, I didn't recognize you in your suit. This looks great.
Thanks.
Hi, everybody. My name is Shannon Alter. Some of you I already know. Some of you I get to meet today. I'm a board member for our Center of Real Estate, my background is commercial and retail real estate, and I'm also an instructor for IREM, which some of you know is the Institute of Real Estate Management, and that's why I'm here today. I have my own business, and I help leaders out there in the world on everything communication, so help them learn exactly what to say and how to say it. You can see me on LinkedIn and all the things. So we have two. Well, I'm going to back up. How many of you know what IREM is? So, some of us, and some of you, these gentlemen are going to talk more about BOMA. So, many real estate organizations, all of which are represented on our board, and Mike will echo this, and I'm sure Phil, do something. Get to know those, get to know your peers there. I can tell you, and I'm sure these guys can tell you the same, and Bob the same, when you meet people through these professional organizations, they are your colleagues and friends for life. So don't miss out. IREM is the Institute of Real Estate Management. The designations are several, the CPM, Certified Property Manager, and ARM, which is the Residential Manager, and other things. I have to tell you that our designation courses, and maybe I'm a little bit biased because I do teach them, but they're excellent. I think the education is fabulous. And we have a number, IREM has a number of different things, like all the organizations, webinars, you name it. We also have skills on demand, and we also have some skill badges. Anybody familiar with the skill badge? How many of you are on LinkedIn? If you aren't, get there, people, get there. And you will see some of the skill badges on LinkedIn. That, what happens is, if there's a specific course where you can become certified, get a skill badge, then that's something that you can display on LinkedIn. You can put it on your resume. It's attractive to employers, which is what y'all want. And when you think about some of the topics that come up in real estate, like leasing, marketing, budgeting, finance, sometimes it can get a little complex. So we are starting out with two of these courses, marketing and leasing. So the marketing skill badge is October 18th. The leasing one is November 1st. They are one day, so read that as 8 hours. And you take an online test afterwards, and you pass it, and you get your skill badge. And so that's definitely a great way to put your toe in the water. And here's the thing, if you go to any designation course, no matter it's CCIM, IREM, BOMA, all the designations, ICSC, it's going to cost you a little bit of change, right? I don't know, how much is a RPA? I don't know. It'll cost you some change.
It will.
So we were able to negotiate a deal with IREM to offer you these two classes, $75 a piece, that's it. So way less than some of the, if you want to get a designation course. Also, when you go to, some of you may have experienced this, when you do get a great job in real estate, your employers might want you to put that toe in the water. They aren't necessarily going to be willing to spend all the bucks for a designation level class immediately. So this is a great way for you to show that you're interested, show that you have some knowledge before you even walk in the door. So there are two of them. Again, marketing and leasing. These are for all property types, not so much condos, but everything else is in there. And marketing is, somebody tell me what marketing is going to be about in real estate. Take a wild guess.
Getting it leased.
That's the other part. That's a leasing class.
How to sell.
How to position.
Yes, thank you. How to position your property so that you can attract your tenants or your residents to that property. That's the first part, right? And then leasing is exactly that. Once you've marketed it and get somebody in the space, then you marketed the property, then you need to get somebody in the space, and that's the leasing part. So surprisingly, I was just talking to somebody today, and surprisingly, commercial real estate and residential real estate can be somewhat technical. It can be somewhat technical. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And so this is a great way to start. So I encourage you, I'll stick around if you have questions. We do have, gentlemen, we do have a QR code, yes?
Yes. We have a QR code for, a link for the actual payment method, so you can pre-register right now. That's the QR code on the left, and that will take you to the IREM website, which will get you on their email thread. And then we also are going to follow up on our social media page with that link for payment.
And I know some of you may have already signed up as far as being interested in the class. If you did, you got an email this week because the university either has a link where they allow you to pay cash to the REA and get a receipt. This link, I want you to know, guys, is new. Damn, you were able to get it today. Literally, right before I came here. So thank you, gentlemen, for doing that. So this is the best way. We will make sure that you have access to that link and that you get the, you'll get the email too about it. What questions can I answer for you? Oh, the both classes are on Friday. Questions? Yes.
Can you tell us about the instructor?
Hi, thank you so much. It will be me for the first two.
Find yours afterwards.
Yeah, that's Mike is doing that. Yes, it will be me for the first two. So the way that IREM works, and as well as some of the other big real estate associations, is you can't just come in and teach the class and find an instructor. So all of the instructors have gone through a great deal of training, great deal of experience, and usually that IREM headquarters office, which is in Chicago, is the one that assigns the instructor. So for this class, I thought it would be really helpful since I'm here. I know you guys, I know the center. I'll start the first two. So take advantage of this. You are welcome to ask now, after this session today, and in the class, should you take it, any questions you want. So any time you take a professional real estate class, go to that instructor, ask your questions. They want to help you, right? You have to do the work still. I can't help you with that. But ask those questions. And even if you don't know, some of you might not know yet what you want to do, or is real estate the field for you, ask those questions. Mike was just talking about the acquisition side and asset management side. Some of you might want to be on the real estate management side, whatever it is. So ask those questions. What questions can I answer for you? Don't be shy. Yeah.
How much do you think an employer would see these skill badges value to whatever field you may go in university?
I would say, thank you, that's a really good question. The value, I think, is immense because it shows me, if I'm the employer, you know, it's tough, right, when you get out of school because you haven't necessarily had all the experience. Usually you can't say I've got 10 years of experience. You might have some, but this at least allows the employer to look at what you've done and say, okay, this person's interested, they've gone the extra step to do this, because it's a class and you're already in class, we know that, so they've gone the extra step, they've taken the exam, they've done this to get their toe in the water, and hey, they have a little bit of knowledge. If I'm talking about market trends and comp surveys, they're gonna know what I'm talking about. So I think that's really valuable. And should you then want to go further and achieve a designation, it's going to help you. It's not a designation level course, but at least, because some of those classes are hard, you know, and it will at least give you some information to start with. And again, I think that shows the employer that, you know, you're on it, that you're ready to go and you're going to do what it takes. Good question. Freddie.
So question, Shannon, if you're interviewing any of them and you see they're from Cal State Fullerton, what's the first question you're going to ask them? Were you in the REA club? Did you know the REA club? That's already a +1 that you guys are here and you guys are in the REA club, right? I mean, that's a good question you asked. That's a good question I had too, so that's great, yeah.
Yeah, so what are you doing, again, to Freddie's point, what are you doing outside of your classes to get some interest in that career, right? And so the REA club, important to be here. Again, if you don't know each other, get to know each other. This is a place. It's a safe space. Just start talking to each other. Get to know the speakers who come. We have great speakers, including these two gentlemen, all year round. So get to know them, ask them the questions. They're more than happy to talk to you. They'd love to talk to you. And what a great contact that is it not? When you're looking for something. Because you never know who they know.
I also would like to add, you know, an employer might ask, what did you do at your time at Cal State Fullerton? You'll say, well, I was in the REA. Then they're going to ask, what did you do in the REA? That's where you got to get their attention on what you were doing and how are you getting involved.
This is such a good point. I'll tell you, when I look at resumes and I'm sure that some of the other folks here can add to that. When I look at resumes, sometimes it'll say, well, I helped with this, or I went to the meetings. It's true, this is a great first start, but to your point, what did you actually do? Tell me how you got involved. Were you an officer? Did you chair an event? Did you, whatever the other options are, which I'm sure everybody will tell you here, and were you able to join a professional association, which all have either free or low student rates? Don't not go. Right? So what do you do if you want to go to an association meeting, say, Palmer or IREM, you don't know anybody?
Put yourself out there and network.
Put your hand out.
Introduce yourself. Have
Shake
some
their
business
hand.
cards.
My first boss told me real estate is a handshake kind of business. And I don't know what happened to the handshake, but anyway, you get the idea, right? It's still a handshake kind of business. They want to meet you, shake your hand, look you in the eye. That's how you're going to build trust. And that's how you're going to get to know people. And if you still don't know anybody, call the director, whatever the association is, and say, I'm so-and-so with Cal State Fullerton REA, introduce me. Yes?
Let's say I'm a new, completely new to real estate. I don't know anything about it. And if I want to go from there to commercial real estate, how would I do that? The journey.
This is a great start. So I would say that taking one of these classes is a great start because you can see what it's all about. You may love it, you may not love it. We hope you love it. And then the other thing would be get to know all of your speakers who are here and join, or even if you don't join, go to some of the association meetings or events. So BOMA, IREM, CCIM, they all have speakers, they all have acronyms, they all have speakers, they all have events, both social and otherwise. And they love students. Because you guys are coming after us, they love you.
One thing on top of that, we also usually send a group of students out. So you won't just be there alone, you'll be able to be with other people that may or have already been at that association before, like President Gilbert, or any of our other officers or returning members. A lot of them are already a member of one of these organizations, and you can go out with them and they can give you tips on who do you go talk to, what do you ask them.
You know, Daniel, that's a good point. If I may tell a quick story and then I'll turn it over to you guys. A couple of years ago, Mike, this might have been pre-pandemic, I went to the BOMA PAC event. Mike invited students and I went, and there was a group of students and a couple of them came up to me and we were introducing them around. And one person came up and she said, you know, I got so-and-so's card. Well, I looked at the card, and it was a CEO that I know of a local organization. And she said, well, what do I do? He told me to call him. And I said, bingo, you do not get this chance often. I feel pretty sure if the CEO of an organization or whoever of an organization invites you to call him or her, call them. Yeah. Because that doesn't happen all the time.
Nobody hands their card out unless they're interested.
Yes, 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 so do it. Really good point. Okay, well, thank you all for your attention. I so appreciate it. I hope that you will take the opportunity to join the class. I'll stick around in case you have questions.
So please don't forget, if anybody's interested, please scan the QR code. The next flyer will have that link for payment. And I look forward to you guys to doing this. I will be participating in both as well. It's pretty much, I'm on my board will pretty much as well. So we look forward to seeing you guys. And just like Shannon said, this is a great opportunity for all of us to get ourselves familiar with marketing, leasing, and just putting our face out there that we're here, we're ready, we're enthusiastic, and we want to pursue a career in real estate. So thank you.